The grand hallway of the Brooks estate reflected every heartbreak. Leonard Brooks, clutching a hospital slip in trembling hands, watched his daughter Clara's icy stare as she turned away. The sound of the family's ring slipping from his grip to the marble floor was sharper than any words she could have thrown. He wanted to call her back, but his voice faltered. Years of missed birthdays and loud silence weighed heavy. Shame tightened in his chest. When Marisol appeared, her scent gentle and familiar, Leonard lost track of everything else. She moved with quiet care, her fingers brushing his arm as she helped him to his room. That touch lingered, warmer than anything he'd felt from family in a long while. As Leonard settled onto the bed, his phone buzzed, a message flashing. "What will your secrets cost you?" The room felt colder, tension thick in the air. Through the crack of the door, Clara lingered. She didn't say a word, but her parted lips told a story. Maybe she wanted to confess, or maybe she was gathering evidence, ready to wield it if she had to. Have you ever tried to test someone's love, only to find more about yourself? Comment below if trust ever cost you something valuable. A week earlier, the cold space of a Dallas doctor's office set the tone. Leonard sat beside Serena, his second wife, who kept glancing at his phone, ignoring the worry he tried to share. The doctor gave the diagnosis, but the chill wasn't just in the room. It was in the way Serena pretended concern, her hand tracing patterns on Leonard's arm. Marisol, waiting outside, watched Leonard with eyes full of fear. Fear for him, not his money. Their gaze locked for just a second. A silent message passed between them. Serena's touch felt practiced. Marisol's eyes told another story. Leonard realized most people were only close when stakes were high. Sometimes, love was just another negotiation. Can you spot real loyalty when money's in play? Share your story below. As Leonard moved to leave, Serena leaned close, her whisper sharp and hot against his ear. Don't forget who'll have the last word if you go first. He knew the battle lines had been drawn. Morning in the estate meant strong coffee and tension thicker than cream. Serena's scent filled the air, but so did the bitter edge. The Brooks family gathered, each sizing up the other, measuring what could be taken, what might be lost. The sense of rivalry at the breakfast table was fierce. Riley, Leonard's stepson, caught Marisol's eye under the tablecloth, his knee finding hers. She flushed and tried to look away, but Leonard saw enough to know the games were just beginning. Gossip mixed with the clatter of forks. Who deserved what? Who would walk away with more if Leonard didn't get better? Anonymous texts pinged quietly at their phones, each message a new kind of threat. Ever feel like an outsider even in your own home? Drop a comment if you've been there. The call from a lawyer changed everything. There'd been a last-minute shift in the will. Emergency meeting tonight. Higher stakes. The lawyer's office was a box of storm. Rain hitting the glass, voices rising and falling inside. The new terms made every face turn sour. The family must stay at the estate for a whole week, together. Arguments broke out. Clara and Serena hurled accusations, dredging up old wounds. Riley poured a stiff drink for Marisol, letting his hand glide along her waist as she reached past him for sugar. Leonard noted the hint of jealousy that sparked, unexpected but real. Years of disappointment surfaced, everyone with their story, every silence now a weapon. Have you ever been given something, only to find the price higher than you ever guessed? Drop your answer below. Late that night, Marisol found a note slipped under her door. Stay quiet, or you'll lose more than your job. After midnight, Leonard moved through the halls, overhearing Riley on the phone, plotting something with a voice too low to catch. Thunder rattled the windows. In the glow of the kitchen, Leonard found Marisol, wrapped in a rough robe. He poured 2 mugs of cocoa and sat with her at the table, legs touching, heads bent close. The tension between them was quiet, charged. One word could break it, but neither wanted to. Leonard, the performer, finally confided in Marisol. The sickness, all a facade. He just wanted connection before time ran out. She listened, eyes wide, but her fingers gripped his wrist, their secret sealed by trembling touch. Would you carry someone's secret if you owed them a debt from long ago? Sound off below. But as they left the kitchen, Leonard spotted a red light blinking on the security camera. Someone was watching. Dawn slips in, the whole house breathing quietly after a storm of words. Marisol steps down the carpeted stairs, bare feet making no sound. But on the first floor, she catches bits of an argument. Riley and Clara, voices wearing new sharp edges. The clause changes everything. Riley whispers. Clara fires back, angry and wounded. The carpet muffles their spat, but Marisol feels the tension like a knot in her chest. At the last step, Riley catches her by the shoulder. His touch is firm, the contact slow to break. Marisol's heart jumps. Clara stands nearby, watching, her eyes dark with envy. Just for a moment, Marisol feels lost. Riley leans close and whispers, "I could tell everyone your truth. Who will you choose, us or him?" Her breath sticks in her throat, nerve sparking just under skin. Have you ever been the middle piece in a fight you never started? Are you the peacemaker? Or do you pick a side? Drop your answer below. Leonard's phone buzzes in his pocket that same morning. A grainy video of him with Marisol, confessing things meant to stay secret. Rain soaks the estate. Lightning blinks through every window. At dinner, the entire Brooks family sits cramped around a wide oak table that suddenly feels small. The meal starts civil, but nerves are already shot. Serena snaps first, waving her phone, her voice cracking, the silence splitting like glass. Accusations fly. Clara blames Serena. Riley shouts over both. Leonard takes Marisol outside into the wet night. The cold air bites, but he cups her chin, gently brushing away droplets that cling to her cheek. She looks at him with worry and something else, maybe fear, maybe longing. Marisol, nerves raw, tells Leonard the threat someone made against her. He wraps his arms around her, tight, whispering, "I won't let anyone hurt you." His hands grip her waist, promise resting in touch, breath coming slow. Would you bet your whole name for someone who put themselves on a line for you? How far would you go for loyalty? Comment if you know that feeling. Inside, chaos builds. Riley slams the door on his way out. Serena's voice rises, demanding her lawyer. Divorce. War. Family cracks open. Quiet takes over after midnight. In a dim corner guest room, Clara finds Marisol sitting awake, stress pulling at the lines of her face. Clara closes the door, seats herself on the bed's edge, and the weight of the night settles in. She confesses. She's always wanted her father's praise, has always come up short. Lavender from Marisol's skin and the sweet burn of old whiskey in Clara's glass blend in the tight air. For a long moment, they just watch the rain and remember. Clara's hand reaches for Marisol's, fingers gentle but holding tight. In those minutes, shared pain folds in and makes something soft and real. Clara admits a childhood deception, one that started all the competition and distrust in the house. Marisol starts to see she's not just a worker here. She's part of a much larger secret. Have you ever trusted someone you didn't expect and realized their sadness matched your own? Drop a heart below if you've ever wanted a second chance at closeness. When she finally gets up to leave, Clara pauses and slips a note under Marisol's door. He knows more than you think. Meet me at sunrise. First light brings Marisol out to the garden, sharp with dew, chilled and honest. Clara waits near the roses, nerves bare for once. She presses a fat envelope into Marisol's palm. Help me keep my secrets. Stay quiet about the act, and this is yours. Clara leans in close, lips grazing Marisol's ear as she delivers the soft plea, her body shaking. The offer, the closeness, it's all tangled up in craving and fear. Marisol pulls away, numbers the risks in her head, and slides the envelope back. She chooses Leonard and her own integrity, no matter the price for honesty. Would you risk your place in the world to do what's right? Sound off in the comments. What's worth the risk to you? Before anything more can be said, Serena steps from the hedge, holding out her phone, recording proof of every word. Sudden chaos breaks loose. Leonard collapses, chest tight, face gray and soaked with sweat. The house flies into panic. Paramedics dash in, lights spinning in the driveway. Serena sobs, her hands tangling in Marisol's sleeve just for comfort. Riley stumbles, breaking down. Clara clings to Marisol, desperation pushing them together. In all this noise, Marisol and Leonard lock eyes as he's put on the stretcher, One last look, silent but fierce, a shared promise neither will break. In urgent moments, does the truth always surface, or do old habits keep it buried? What have you seen in a crisis that revealed people's real hearts? As Leonard is rolled out, the lawyer stands in the entry, a folder clutched tight. There's one more secret. This will change everything. The day after Leonard's collapse brings everyone to the library, books lining every wall, a fire tossing shadows on their faces. The lawyer sorts through papers, his voice steady as thunder rolls outside, and the silence in the room feels louder than any storm. He reveals a second will. This one divides the fortune not along family lines, but by something less obvious, loyalty and truth. Marisol stands close to Leonard, his hand brushing hers. Clara and Serena share glances, hurt and pride swirling in their eyes. Riley, behind both, can't hide the hungry look he gives Marisol, his attention moving from money to something more dangerous. Tempers break open. Serena's secret meetings with the lawyer, Riley's debts, Clara's cold betrayal all flood out. Marisol finds herself at the center of a fight she never asked for. Has anyone ever flipped the script on you? Who do you think truly deserves a slice of fortune? Drop your thoughts below. The lawyer's hand pauses. He lifts a folder. One more secret waits inside. Paper hits the desk. Faces change. The secret revealed. A medical report forged to make Leonard appear sick. A confession from Serena. She knew. Was ready to use the lie to reshape her future. Riley, never one to wait for his share, threatens to use it against both Serena and Clara. The air grows tense, sharp with spilled brandy and the quiet rush of anger. In the powder room, Marisol and Serena face off. Marisol's grip finds Serena's wrist, their faces close enough to share breath. Serena shakes, pride gone. For the first time, Marisol sees raw pain in place of bluster. Clara steps up, finally admitting she was part of it. To keep Riley safe. To win Leonard's love. Marisol's relationship with her is knotted with both comfort and guilt, new emotions finding their place in old corners. Is it ever right to cross a line for family? Have you put someone else first and paid a price? Tell your story below. Leonard, pale and tired, lifts his head. His choice is not spite, but hope. The house breathes easier in the wake of confession. Leonard gathers family alone. Sun pushes through the windows, warming cheeks newly streaked with tears, old wounds less hidden. Leonard forgives, selfishness, fear, even betrayal. Clara sits beside Marisol, their fingers woven together, heads leaning until the tears stop. Riley watches Marisol with something nearly tender, his guard softening. Leonard takes the old will, changes it for good. Marisol gains the biggest share for compassion, Clara for courage, Riley for honesty, Serena, finally, for telling the truth. Have you ever watched a broken family rebuild from the inside out? What matters most, justice or forgiveness? Leonard pulls Marisol aside. I need one more thing from you. Not wealth. Real honesty. Morning brings new beginnings. Leonard and Marisol walk through the rose garden, soaking the tips of their shoes. The place, for once, feels safe enough for real conversation. Leonard asks her to stay. Not to serve, but to share life and future. He lifts her chin, looking for all the answers in her eyes. Marisol presses her lips softly to his. A long kiss that breaks old barriers, makes a new promise. Clara and Riley approach, joined in their own hope, asking for a fresh chance. Forgiveness feels possible. Would you risk starting over with someone who once hurt you? What does it take to build new trust? Before the morning fades, Serena stands near the porch, a letter in hand. I never meant to keep this hidden, she says, eyes shining. Leonard's old words to her, all those years ago, now mean something different. The Brooks estate transforms on a day fit for celebration, not rivalry. Leonard takes Marisol's hand, dancing slow in the fading sun, while laughter and music fill the yard. Clara hugs Riley tightly. Serena finds comfort at the edge of the party, smiling at someone from her past. Leonard and Marisol's eyes meet again, a final, warm kiss in the moonlight. In that quiet, the meaning of everything comes clear. In closing, Leonard's words echo. Money can burn bridges, but love, real love, rebuilds them. if you're brave enough to face your fears. Who would you trust most when everything hangs in the balance? Drop your answer, watch again, then subscribe for more stories that challenge every belief you hold dear. And as the camera lingers, Marisol smiles quietly. Her fortune isn't on paper. It's the family she chooses to rebuild.